Good morning, traders. Happy Sunday. I'm Clayton Allen. I'm the host of the Day Trading Plumber and founder of AllenFx. So every Sunday, I go through all of the majors and crosses pairs in the Forex market. And really all I'm doing here, I've had a few questions of people that watched my former Sunday setup show. All I'm doing here is I'm really going through each chart on the daily and readjusting support and resistance levels on the daily chart. Now, I don't necessarily take trades just because price gets into these zones. All I'm doing is plotting a supply and resistance area on a daily, so then when I look at smaller time frames, I have kind of a directional pick or an area that I am predicting price is going to do something. It's either going to reverse or we're going to get a break of that support and resistance and possibly a long new trend in that direction. That's what's so fun about supply and demand zones is that is when bulls and the bears need to make a decision. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. And then if you got any questions, throw them in the comments or shoot me an email at dtpshow at AllenFx.com. I'd love to hear from my followers. And if you want to see something different, go ahead and throw it in the comments. All right, let's jump to the screen here. So I'm going to start from the US dollar up to the Australian dollar pairs this week because normally I go from top down. Today, let's go for a bottom up. So the first pair is the USDJPY. So you can see I'm on the daily and price has just been kind of in this consolidation pattern on the daily. Now, what I would tell you guys is just like I said in the opening here, price is going to break either down or up. But we have our support and resistance kind of on this channel, right? This sideways channel. It's been very good to us. When we get up here, we sell. When we get down here, we buy. But one of these times, we're going to either get a break up or a break back down. And what I want to show you guys is when we get, let's say we get a break of this support. Now we start to look for support here or all the way down here. And if we go out to a lot bigger time frame, you can see we are in a bullish flag pattern on a monthly. So one might say you see this like wedge pattern going on, and it's after this massive bull move up. One might say, look, we're going to get a breakout up, and then this thing could go to the moon. But we're on a monthly here. So what I'm seeing here on a monthly is, we're right around a pivot level. So price might want to dip back down, or we're going to see a run. But most of my analysis stays here on the daily because I'm looking for swing trades within a week or two. So I look on the daily, try to predict what price should or is highly likely to do this week. So on this pair, we're still short because we got into our bearish zone. We actually took a trade. This trade has been, pretty good positive here. And it's just kind of this consolidation I'm expecting this week with really low liquidity. Price is just going to keep going in between these two levels, possibly just come back down to this pivot and just hang out there. Not a lot of action is going to happen this week. All right, let's jump to our next pair, see if we got any adjusting to do. Okay, well, here's a great example. Price was going in between these two support and resistance zones. We had a breakout of that zone, and price came all the way down. We moved our bearish zone down here only because we had this S2 level, and price likes to reverse when it hits S2, it becomes oversold. So we had this little bullish move here at the end of last week. Here's what I like, though. Here's what I'm going to be looking for. Ma'am. Here is where I want to take a sell trade. So if you want to see if and when I take this trade exactly, jump onto my Telegram groups. I'll have links of it in the video notes. So that's what we're looking at on US Swiss franc. Now this is US dollar, Canadian dollar. And again, we had this. We actually took this trade. If we go to a smaller time frame, you'll see it. We're actually in this trade, me and my followers on Telegram. So it dipped out into our bullish area. Took a buy trade. It's going to be a slow growing, almost hit our profit target here, but we're waiting for another push up. Yeah, so we're still bullish this pair up to that pivot level. Like I said, a really good play off of this is going to be, if price gets back up here, taking a sell trade. But, I'm not bearish again until at least this pivot. Even then, I'm going to see what price is doing at this pivot. It possibly could come all the way back up here. All right, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. All right, so this has been on a rip-roaring bullish run. I see price slowing down. I see momentum slowing down. And we're forming some bearish confirmation up here. So I like this pair here bearish again this week. But we got to see a smaller time frame confirmation, which we will be looking for. Euro CAD. All right, Euro Canadian dollar. We had this trend. We have a break of the trend. We have a retest of the trend. So I'm no longer bullish here. I'm bearish here. And I'm not going to be bullish again until possibly this S2 line. And I'm not going to be bearish. I'm kind of bearish here now. Okay, do you guys see that? So if you have questions, jump on the comments of this video. Find me in my other outlets. If you got questions of why I just switched that, I'd love to help you out. But what I'm seeing is we had this bullish trend. We have this strong bearish candle breaking that trend line, and then you have the retest and a retest again. So now this is becoming a strong resistance level that we want to pay attention to. I like this pair short this week, at least down to this bullish zone. One thing to be cautioned is you had a support right here that could possibly stop price when it gets here. But because of this broken trend line, I think you're going to have a lot of sell pressure, at least down to this S2 level this week. All right, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. All right, here we go. Another New Zealand dollar's just been kicking everyone's butt. So we have this bullish move, New Zealand dollar. I'm not necessarily bearish till we get to this former resistance area. Price looks like it might get there, and I'll go ahead and draw out here what that would look like. And then once we get to this area, see some smaller time frame confirmation. I like it. Here's TP1, and then this pivot as TP2. Love it there. This missed pivot, price just gonna want to get back to it. Okay, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, kind of the same thing here, but we seen price start to consolidate on R2 last week. I'm bearish if price gets back up here, starts respecting this newly formed resistance. One thing to be cautious of is, it's already broke this support, right? It became resistance off of this support, and the next resistance level's all the way up here. So this could be just a consolidation pattern, and if you get a breakout up here, you got a lot of buying pressure all the way up to this level. So for now, I'm leaving my bearish zone here. I'm just going to be a little more cautious. But what I'm loving is this missed pivot. This missed pivot right here. And price has not come back down and touched this pivot. So I feel price, if it get up here, we have a really good sell trade at the top of this consolidation zone. We might get a break back down towards this pivot this week. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. All right, so price broke out of this consolidation. It's been bullish. Same thing. We're way above R2. We're way overbought. We have kind of a resistance line here. And now we're starting to see bearish activity, or at least consolidation. And, we have a missed pivot all the way down here. So I really like how the New Zealand dollar is shaping up for a good correction. And if we catch this correction correctly, we can make some really good pips here. All right. British pound, US dollar. All right. British pound has just been crazy. So pretty much been bullish since October. A lot of people got caught in some sell trades here. And if you're still in them, you looked at this consolidation zone as a good place to enter a rollover trade like I did. And then we had that vote week taking things to the moon. And, luckily I didn't panic and I held, and now I'm out of that rollover trade. But still have some sell trades down here at small sizes that I need to work on. However, how I see this chart, I'm bullish again because price made this impressive move. Broke a new high, just destroyed this resistance. And then now has reset all the way down to this former resistance. Now it's time to see if it confirms this former resistance is new support. I like this pair long. If we get a break, obviously, if we Fibonacci that impulse leg, we're sitting at the 7.8, the 0.78 right now. So it's kind of in death turnaround spot, but it's this former resistance that is stopping price. And we have a missed pivot down here, but we've come so far. So you might get a lot of buying pressure at this level because people have targeted this former resistance or this former support here. But I think if we break this resistance level down, this missed pivot is a really good target. And then even then, if we break this support, this thing could come all the way back down to the 0.20, the 1.20 level again. But this is a lot of fundamental news-driven price action here. So buyer beware and seller beware. British pound, New Zealand dollar. We had this awesome bullish flag pattern forming. Then, it broke on the news. I bet you a lot of people got caught in this long because this is a very typical bullish flag. And once it broke, people probably went heavy long. And then now we have this break of it. So this pair, the New Zealand dollar's been strong. The British pound's been strong, but kind of people had some bad news after the vote. So this thing could probably come all the way down. Right now, how I would play this is, I'd look for some sort of pullback, which you can see you almost had a retest already. And, I like this thing here. So yeah, this one I'm turning red because it's almost ready to go now. British pound, JPY. All right, I mean, all the British pound pairs kind of look the same. We had this price kind of hovering at the R2. Yeah, your pivot level here. I'd like to see price come all the way down to this support, and then we'd be buyers again. I'm not necessarily bearish until we get a retest of this high. So nothing too big here. Just got to wait for price. Okay, my favorite pair, the one that I was stuck in with Wally, my robot, and my L6. I got out of that L6 last week, and now we have this what could be called, if you throw a Fibonacci on this bearish impulse leg, we're only back to the 0.23. I would like to see price come up to the 3.8 or possibly the 0.5 and take another sell trade for here to be a continuation of this bullish move, or bearish move, sorry. Or if price comes back down and double bottoms here, I will get bullish. But obviously I can't because I'm already in sell trades. So that might be a decision for me to close my existing trades for a small loss. British pound, Canadian dollar. See, it's already made its way back to the pivot. So price made this massive move up like the rest of them. Price on the Canadian dollar pair, British pound, Canadian dollar, has already gotten back to its pivot. So we may want to be bullish here. We'll have to see what price does at this location. We're either going to, like I said at the beginning, we're either going to get a break at these levels, and then we have a really good play, or we're going to get a good bounce. That's the fun part about trading is probability is it's going to respect this level and continue this trend. If you're a trend trader, if you're a reversal hunter like I am, these are pivotal spots to look for that. Hey, the buyers aren't no longer supporting this trend, and we get a break. You can see the bottom fall out pretty fast. Let's go to Canadian dollar or British pound AUD. Kind of the same thing, except for we broke right at the end of the week. We broke this former support line that we had here. Former resistance, new support, break. So that's why I have my bullish zone all the way down here. Bearish should probably be right there because now we broke it. So if we get a retest back into this bearish, confirming it as new resistance, I like this pair short down to this S2, and then possibly, we're setting ourselves up for a really big reversal and coming back down to these levels, but only time will tell. Euro US dollar. So we didn't quite get the pullback we were looking for last week. You can see this is some analysis from last week. And okay, so last week we were expecting price to kind of make this bounce on this support, come back up to this bearish area. We would got put in a sell trade, but as you can see, we missed it. Price rocketed back towards its pivot, and now we're kind of in the middle of no man's land, at least here on daily. One thing to note while we're here, if you drew a trend line on this, we have break that trend line. So I'm going to look and see what price does at this pivot. Possibly if we get a break of that pivot, I like this pair at least all the way down to this support level here and might take a buy trade. New Zealand dollar or Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, so let's get rid of this stuff. What do we got going on here? So here's what we were looking for. We were looking for price just rocketed past S2. I was looking for a retest. It looks like we got that retest. And then we have an alert here from last week. So we got that retest. And look, if you would have played that like we got in that sell, price more than likely, because we broke this, it's going to come all the way down to our bullish target that we had here. And I love it there. So if you're in this sell trade, throw a comment. If you caught it on my Telegram group, throw a comment in here. Tell the world that it was a good trade. All right, so here, British or Euro, Japanese yen, price is kind of sitting right on this former resistance. So I'm not necessarily bullish here anymore because it looks like we kind of broke it. I'm not bullish till this pivot. I'm actually going to be bearish here. So if I get a retest of this, former resistance, now support, what we were thinking was going to be support, I'm going to be bearish and sell this puppy, because what we might be seeing is a reversal of this upward trend. Okay, EURGBP. All right, so we were identifying this as support. It broke it. It now became resistance. And then if I zoom way out, you can see then we found our new support line, and we actually took a buy trade down here, made some good money all the way up. Now we were looking for a sell trade. So if I get that trade out of the way here and get this arrow out of the way, what we have is price came out, shot up, now broke this, and then we're like in a retest situation. So we're sitting right at a point where price is either going to retest and continue up, or this is a false breakout and we're going to get some sort of double bottom back down here. I'm going to guess fundamentally there's the British pound might catch some strength again, and we're going to get some sort of push halfway back down here, and we're going to get some sort of reversal pattern in this area, or some sideways action for a while. But it's shot up, touched its pivot. So what we might see is this is just price getting back to its mean, and then we're going to get a lot of sell pressure. So now I'm going to move this bearish to there. If we get back up towards this pivot and price can't seem to break this level again, I'll get bearish at that location, sell it back down to our bullish. Euro Swiss franc. So Euro Swiss franc, I'm bullish now, where price is sitting right now. Let's get that out of the way. This is a strong support level, and it looks like it's respected it. And we got, kind of a doji pin bar daily candle last Friday. So this this is confirming this support, and I'm not necessarily bearish. This needs a little bit of adjustment. I mean, that's when you see these long wicks spikes and it stops, those are very critical levels to keep in mind, because price moved very hard and fast and it stopped there. And typically, if we kind of go back in time and we look for those, price really respects those levels. Oops. So if I were to take a buy trade from here, I probably set this pivot level as my profit target. We don't want to be too greedy and go all the way up, but I like this pivot as a profit target. Anytime price touches S2 on a daily, I really love price back to the pivot or halfway to the pivot if you want a little bit of safer trade. All right. Euro AUD. All right. So Euro AUD, we are in a very, tough spot. Price is either going to respect this trend right here. Here's what I kind of like. I kind of like this to hit S2. And if it does, we're going to wait for a retest. And then we're going to take a sell trade from there. So I'm going to move my bearish zone there. And I'm going to put my bullish zone down here. If I zoom out, that's what I kind of like. Or we're going to get a really, if we drew our trend line right, we're going to get a bounce here if we're off on it a little bit. Some people draw it right on these wicks, and if you are a wick Nazi, maybe that's a bad choice of words. If you are a wick connoisseur, I guess, this would be how it would look, and it looks like price bounced on it. So, all in how you draw this trend line, and then this would be a good, you'd wait for some confirmation. It'd be a good buy back up to this. All in how you draw your trend lines. Okay, Swiss franc JPY. You can see we are in a sell trade here, and this sell trade is in good profit. Got really close to our stop loss, but I still like this pair short to this bullish zone. Canadian dollar JPY, perfect time to be getting into a sell trade. You can see this pin bar daily. Yeah, I mean, it looks good to me. It's right in our bearish zone. Hit R2, pivots down here. Good trade. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, kind of in this consolidation. This big green line tells us we want to be buying because we're oversold on, let's see, where did our RSI go here? Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. But either way, kind of in the middle. Australian dollar, US dollar. It looks kind of like if we get a push. I mean, obviously we were waiting for a dip back down to the pivot last week. Then a bounce back up to R2. I think that plays over. What we do have here is price hit R2. It looks like it's coming back up. It's either going to continue or we're going to get some sort of double top. So I'm going to leave my bearish zone here, and I'm not really bullish until there. If I get rid of that line so it's not confusing us. Price, this kind of become a strong support level. So if it hits this R2 or resistance level, if it hits this R2 double tops, I like it, starting a sideways range here. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I really like this pair long. As you can see, we are in a good trade on it because price respected this trend line. It's hovering right around S2. I love this missed pivot, and maybe this week with some low liquidity, price will just kind of push its way all the way up to this missed pivot and former resistance zone. If it does, you're in a really good trade here. Let's just measure that out. if you got in right when we got in and it hits that pivot, 225 pips. Not a bad day. All right. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Again, hit R2. Is it going to double top on R2? I like this as a bearish zone. Look for that reversal here because this former top didn't really get past this. It's just sitting on this R2. Then, I love this pivot. I love this pivot level as that target to come back down and see what price is going to do. Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Yes, so we called this trade in this bullish area. Price got down, hit support. Now you can see it went all the way to its pivot last week. And then I'm kind of bearish if it gets up here. Kind of want to see what it does at this pivot level. Here shortly, it might come back all the way down to the support. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, again, came down to our bullish area last week, and now it's rip-roaring up. I kind of like if we get to this R2 level, getting bearish again, seeing if we're going to get a really good sideways channel to play some future back and forth trades and soak up some pips. All right. Well, that concludes this week's Sunday summary or Sunday setups. If you like watching these, make sure you hit like and subscribe and follow. I'd love your guys' support. If you want to see something different, shoot it in the show notes. But this is basically me recording how I go through my charts every Sunday and readjust support and demand on the daily. And then as the week goes on, I post smaller, shorter videos on each pair that's getting really close for me taking a trade. All right. Have a great week. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy holidays. And just remember, all of you new traders out there, trading this week is going to be very tough. So be very selective of what trades you take. It's probably best you just sit on your hands and not trade at all. Just saying. All right. Happy holidays. And we'll see you guys later.